And this dumbass thinks that he can sit there and tell me what is truth and what's not. He fucking can't even look up real history. No, the dumbass wants to make up his own history. He wants to totally. And what the? Oh wait a minute. Are we going live? Shit. Fuck. Oh shit. I said the bad word. Ooh. Well, I don't care because it is god dang frustrating that these people want to sit there and call you a racist just because you lay some facts on them that they don't want to hear. They can just go and kiss my white or no, my pink fluffy bunny ass. That's what I said. They can kiss my pink fluffy bunny ass. Oh, okay. Okay, I'll try to calm down.
What lies beneath your feet? Sacred grounds, watered with tears of blood. Shall we begin? Shall we begin? Shall we begin?
On a cold winter morning, in the time before the light, in flames of death, eternal rain, we ride towards the fight. When the darkness is falling down, and the times are tough for right, the sound of evil laughter falls around the world tonight. Fighting hard, fighting on for the steel, through the wastelands evermore. The skeleton souls will feel the hell like wasted on the shore. On the blackest waves in hell's domain, we watch them as they go. In spiral pain, now once again we know. So now we fly, yeah, we're free before the thunderstorm. On towards the wilderness, our quest carries on. Far beyond the sundown, far beyond the moonlight, deep inside our hearts and all our souls. So far away, we wait for the day, yeah. For the life's all so wasted and gone. We feel the pain of a lifetime locked in 1,000 days. Through the fire and the flames we carry on. Now here we stand with that blood on our hands. We fought so hard, now can we understand? I'll break the seal of this curse if I possibly can. For freedom of every man.
This is where we hold them.
So far away, we wait for the day, yeah. For the life's all so wasted and gone. We feel the pain of a lifetime lost in 1,000 days. Through the fire and the flames we carry on.
And hail the chat. Hey guys, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you. I know we're on a hiatus for a few months, and yes, this channel lost monetization.
Ooh.
So it is, that YouTube finally look after years of fighting the establishment. They got me on something, so I just have to get my watch hours back up, and I believe I can reapply. So that's just where it's at. It is what it is, and but thank you, Deej, thank you, CJ. Appreciate you being here. And what's up, Sean? Sean's in the house, my OGTFM chat brethren. How you doing, dude? Good to see you. Thank you so much for stopping through. Another one of my OGTFM brethren. What's up, Tim Hayes? Good to see you, dude. Thank you so much. And I appreciate each and every one of you that subscribes to all of these wonderful people on this panel, follows their shows or live streams. What's up, Andy? OG, what's going on, dude? There be rogues here, brother. Yes, thank you very much. Everybody in the chat, my fellow rogues, hanging out and ready to have some fun. We're gonna talk about a couple good things tonight. get this party started. We got another 2 great live streams going on. Later on, you're going to have Sporkin News podcast, Saturday Dump, one of the best shows on YouTube. Please check that out, as well as Saturday night's main event over on Eats Up with Cooney's, a place to be reviews. Got a lot of really cool people coming through there from the Legion of Memers. And shout out to Soldier Spirit for I think he's almost at 10K now. Congratulations to him, and we've seen him rise over the last year, and I'm really happy to see someone.
He had his 10K celebration.
He had his 10K celebration. That is incredible. Good for him, man. And God bless the vets. Thank you so much. So Tina, how you doing, sweetheart?
I'm doing pretty well. It's the regular kind of Chicago weather thing going on where we had 90 degrees last weekend. We couldn't get out of the 60s all week, and it was 90 again today. So yay. Fall is here in Chicago. It lasts for about 3 hours and then it'll be winter by the end of next week, I'm sure. So
incredible. What is Ryan Roger? How you doing, brother? How's your channel?
I'm doing well. It's great to be here with all the fine folks on the panel, especially Slender Dad, who turned up just on time, as well as all the fine folks in the chat. As for my channel, I recently passed 1,700 subscribers. I haven't made any videos or streams today, but I'll be back at it on Sunday and all of next week. Yes, I have the Tim Pool get up, folks, because my hairline, it's collapsing faster than the Soviet Union. So, great to be here.
Good to see you, man. Thank you so much.
I told you, just do a comb over with your butt hair and it'll cover it.
Slender Dad, how are you, man? How's everything going on with you, little Chad Mad, and all the cool people over there in that corner of YouTube?
I think things are going pretty good with us. We've been getting raids from Culture Casino's stream on our streams, so that's been helping us out. I think we picked up a couple regulars, and I mean, I've never really cared about like our subscriber count. I really like that we have regulars. Like, it used to just be Bad Take Bojan in there, and we basically had a conversation with her for 2 hours. But now there's like other people in there to talk to, and so it mixes it up a bit. It's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it.
That's
all
awesome.
the merrier.
And before we move on to Deej, because he's going to take center stage for a minute, I just want to say what's up to Papa Cotton. Always supportive. Good to see you, man. Thank you very much. That's my managing moderator for all my channels. And he will put down the hammer on anybody if need be. Please, if Papa directs you or says, stop, please listen. And my brother Snow, hail trans fat. What is going on, Snow Dove? Good to see you. Did it even come up? Oh, it didn't come up.
It did for a second. You press a button
still learning.
and then.
Laptop is touchy, Ryan. It's very touchy.
Double-clicking.
What's up, Snow? Hail trans fat guys. If you're not, please subscribe to Snow Dub. He and I have been around the same little group of people building since the very beginning. And man, Snow and I, we've all had fights. Snow and I used to stand up in front of the entire freaking indie sphere and just tell people about themselves, and that didn't help. And then, but Snow's got a great thing going on over at the Cotton Connection, dude. I'm so proud of you and everything that you've built, the friendships you've maintained. Love seeing you hanging out with Culture. Love seeing everything that's going on with the puppets, dude. You had a vision years ago. You kept with it, and I'm glad to see that success is continual, my brother. Thank you so much for being here.
5 years of hard work, unlike Stephen not going from one disaster to the other.
No. Snow, let me tell you, Snow is so good at way better at trolling and dealing with drama than I am. Way better at it. I go way too off. Snow can handle it. What is going on, Zach's? Good to see you. Hail, brother. Guys, please make sure to check out every one of Zach's streams. Check out his new channel, because he couldn't even keep monetization on it, which is insane, because he's got a great crew of people over there. One of the best lunch tables in this entire indie sphere. Hail to Flaccid Abomination, Lady Balefire, Mags, everybody, just wonderful people. Love seeing them and hanging out. Good to see you, Zach. Thank you so much, brother.
Solid crew.
Oh, absolutely a solid crew. One of the best, man. One of the best. It was the same thing like when Legion of Memers first started, and I came on one of their first live streams, and they asked me like, what advice? And I said, be consistent and make sure to have a lunch table with talented and people that you can trust, and understand that you're going to have disagreements with people at some point in time. Handle it right. Don't be a Walton. You'll be good. Just don't go off too much. What do you say? Dude, yes, you do. And I'm trying, Snow. Look, you see me in the trans fat chat. I'm trying to resuscitate that. We're going to try and get gender check happening again. We're going to make this show happen. Love to see your brothers Angus, Rookie, Immortal, Red, Lethal, all of us. And dude, I'm trying to get hold of K-Log. I swear. But he hasn't responded to me. And if he can, we'll bring the log back. All right.
Steven's a brown belt for obvious reasons.
I keep falling. I keep falling down. DJ Odyssey, brother, what happened yesterday?
Well, this was something that has been going on for the last few days. There has been a big back and forth between me and someone on the old Twitter, or as some people want to call it, X, because of a comment that I made.
Do X gonna give it to you?
And I heard it on the X. Anyway, so this Canadian decides to jump in. A Canadian that I have been on streams with, that has been on my streams a few times, wanting to tell me where I'm wrong. And it all has to do with reparations.
We're back to reparations? Wait, hold on.
Yeah, we're back on that topic.
Reparations? If they actually get reparations?
Do we owe Canada reparations?
I have no idea, because this is what confounds me. This totally
I think
confounds
Canada
me.
owes us for the White House they burned down, right?
Yeah, I think so, but
I was technically Britain using Canada, so bear that in mind.
This whole back and forth starts out with this, and I start asking questions of him. I sat there and I said, well, then who's going to pay the reparations? Is it going to be African countries, since it was Africans that were capturing Africans to sell them off to slavery? Are they going to be the ones? Or is it going to be descendants of black slave owners? Because there actually was some black slave owners before the Civil War. That is also a fact.
Yeah.
Of course.
And considering, this is gonna sound really fucked up, but like our investment didn't pan out. We had a whole civil war to abolish slavery and everything else. So we bought these things from those tribes that were capturing their own people and selling them to us. Can we get a refund?
Wow. Yeah. No, go ahead.
I also had one other question for him. I said, do I get reparations because I had relatives that fought and died on the Union side? So do I get any of these?
Dude, I'm quarter Irish, and a lot of my people came over here as indentured servants. So I get reparations?
So I'm a quarter Irish too. So that's 2 hits for me that I should.
You got to pay yourself reparations. That's the point there, Deej.
And it's like he comes back at me and he goes, "You're just using racist talking points because you're a Trump lover. None of that happened. Blah 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 blah." What the fuck are you talking about? I started giving him actual links to things that he could look up to see that it's true, and he doesn't want. He either, it's one of 3 things. He either is too damn stupid to know how to click a link and actually
very racist. Something. That's very racist.
He doesn't want to get the information that he knows is going to prove him wrong. Like
second, he knows I'm right already. He just can't admit it. Or 3, he's been so fucking brainwashed by people that he's been around that he can't understand normal thinking. You can shorten that down to 4 letters. That's what I think.
T acronym.
Yes, I did, because that's how he's acting.
What do you mean? You mean
kind of a side topic, because you mentioned the Trump lover thing. I can I put something out? Like, I think Trump did an excellent job as president, and I really liked his policies. As a person, I don't think I'd want to have a fucking beer with the guy. He seems like kind of an arrogant dick.
Same. I feel the same too.
But he made a pretty good president, and I had more money.
He ran the country like a corporation. The thing, okay, I think Trump should. I mean, just real quick. First off, he didn't get a fair shake. He had to fight the government, literally the government, and he also
still got shit done.
and still got shit done. He made China pay, and he also hired people for his cabinet that were from previous administrations because they knew how to perform the job like a businessman would. And he was fighting the FBI for like how many years? We dealing with Comey and all that stuff that happened.
The deep state, the civil service administration that always puts in someone in office who will support their agenda. It's been like that for America for a very long time. It's been like that for the United Kingdom for at least 100 years. So there's more than one deep state, folks. It's the civil service, the bureaucracy behind the scenes that decides the fate of these nations.
Doesn't the UK have like star trials? What are those called?
I don't recall, but
you know what I'm talking about though, where they'd like have a whole bunch of judges and they'd bring someone in, they basically just abuse you until you admit you did it.
Oh, you mean show trials?
Yeah, I thought there was a name for them though, and I thought it had the word star in it.
No, you must be talking about Britain's Supreme Court, which was just one hell of a silly invention imported from America. But
I don't think we did. I've said this before. Like, I think the U.S. government is an absolutely terrible system of government, but it's better than every other system that exists right now. So we'll deal with it.
Now, there was one other thing that I gave him knowledge of.
This is not true. From Zombie, wasn't true. I like Atreus. He's a great guy.
I gave him multiple links to this other fact. This is what really sent him over the edge. I said, there are Africans right now in slavery in Africa by other Africans. I said, it is known fact.
Well,
in Libya,
according to Sound of Freedom, there are more people enslaved now than there have been at any other point in history, or at least in written history.
Really?
There's a lot more people to source them from.
I found it. Star Chamber was an English court that sat at the Royal Palace of Westminster from the late 15th century to the mid 17th century and was composed of privy councillors and common law judges to supplement the judicial activities of the common law and equity courts in civil and criminal matters. That's what I was thinking of, the Star Chamber. Right. They reference that every once in a while because basically it was just harass them until they admit that they did it.
And that was progress in regards to civil justice, unfortunately. But a bit before my time, Slender Dad, but thank you for enlightening me.
A little bit.
Now
before all our times.
The good thing about me getting him totally fired up, he actually openly admitted he was racist by telling me that I needed to stick to my own kind, go back to hanging out with whites.
Wow.
That's a good policy.
Shut up, Brian.
I will hang out with whoever is interesting and fun and doesn't treat me like a second-class citizen. Like, if we can all get along, I don't give a shit.
Civil.
Yeah. Humans are humans. I like being a mutant. I'm part Neanderthal. 4.3% actually. I have my DNA.
And yes, LDG, I'm perfectly sober, and I'm still talking about it.
I made him Pickles. I actually brought him up here and put it in the title because I wanted to. I heard DJ talking about it yesterday, and it did bring up a point. Like a lot of times, and we've seen it in producers and actors and people working in Hollywood, where they point the finger at the fans and they go, "You're a racist," or "You're a sexist," while they're making a remark, or a phobic remark, or a ist remark, and it's usually a lot of projection that happens. Myself, one of the people that I really, two of the people that I really enjoyed getting to know when I first started on YouTube was Jane Theory and Lorena Creole, because they had a very deep understanding of African American history, Creole history, and they were the ones who told me things like there were black slave owners, there were free blacks in the United States before the Civil War. And I didn't really, I knew that, but I didn't really know that. And it's important to get it's important to get information from people who have studied these things or have a deep understanding or a tie to them that are unbiased. You know, they're not having a conversation from a place of emotion. They're coming at it from facts. And when you have people that will make racist statements like Deej was dealing with, you know, like complete denial of any fact. Like, this is a fact of the matter. You can look this up. You can research this, and it is what it is. And that person, instead of having a discussion, points the finger and says, you know, you're a racist. The hypocrisy of that is one, I think, of the biggest problems that we have in society today. Like, nobody wants to listen and think or admit you're wrong. It's okay to admit that you're wrong, or it's okay to admit that you're coming from a biased perspective.
It's an establishment tactic, Stephen, that's been used for decades to try and stop, in one way or another, what I like to call the alliance of alternatives, whether it's in politics, popular culture, or wider society. And we're seeing a fellow creator, whether it's a prominent one or an up-and-coming one, it's irrelevant. When a fellow creator uses these tactics, unfortunately, it's a red flag. Being Canadian is also a red flag, but I have met fine fellow creators who are Canadian and realize that their regime is a bit like Western North Korea. But go on, speak your mind.
It's also really immature, because here's the thing: as an adult, and there will probably be people on this panel who disagree with me on this one, but I'm gonna lay it out factually. As an adult, you realize that we're all a little racist, like a little, a little, because the human brain works in. The human brain works in generalizations so that it's easier and quicker to process information. We cannot help but generalize to a certain extent. But if you're a mature person, you know, okay, my initial gut reaction is this, but that is a broad generalization. Let me investigate a little further and get more data so that I can make a better assessment.
That's why stereotypes are so effective in highlighting points of different people, as it were. And we all have preferences. And if you think about discrimination, we always discriminate in trying to find, you know, a partner, or for a woman, it's a husband, or for a man, it's a wife. As a result of that preference, that joint preference, that is a form of discrimination. So it does have a place in society, but it does not have to be the place in society.
Oh, Tina, go ahead.
I was going to just say that what Slender just explained is the best definition for unconscious bias, without putting a bunch of, you know, PC terms around it. And the fact that it's just human nature in order to prejudge something, because that's how you protect yourself. Like, hey, that scary thing over there with teeth and nails is probably going to kill me. Oh, wait, no, it's just a dog from next door. You know what I mean? It's just your brain senses danger or dislike to help yourself not repeat traumas of the past. You know,
justify dangers, because a dog can kill a human being.
Absolutely. I mean, I grew up thinking that I didn't think I was ever racist, but I did admit that I was very classist.
Oh.
So, you know, for good or bad. But I mean, I think I've grown up to not be that. But you know, we're all molded by our upbringing. So I think that was a lot of it. You know.
Deej, Andy wants to know. I don't know if you mentioned the person's name yet, but he was asking, was it a prominent creator you had a problem with?
This guy has like 1,600 and some subscribers.
Oh, cool.
And I will admit, I was kind of petty in my live stream last night, because I did call him out, telling how many subscribers he had, and I said, and here I am with only half his subscribers, and I still get more views on a live stream than he can.
Look at
You've
Deej.
got more depth, Deej. More depth, more solid community.
Well, nobody wants to sit there and listen to the victimhood card over and over and over. That's what it is. And that's basically, he's surrounded himself. This was really a cool guy to be around and hang out with. But in the last year or so, he's been surrounding himself more and more with the victimhood people. So he's kind of went into that
mindset.
Would you
mindset.
say
And
he's become obsessed with the numbers and kind of lost sight of the goal?
I think he's become more obsessed with the victimhood card than anything else, and he's lost sight of everything else. Because I had a friend of his that even was a friend of his all the way back into school, and he's been ostracized by him.
I mean, yeah, and it happens. It definitely happens, especially in this field, this world, so to speak. It's like, don't lose sight of the goal. Okay, you start seeing the subs come in, the positive comments. You get those dopamine hits, and suddenly you're chasing that fucking dragon. Don't chase the dragon, man. Remember why you came here and what you wanted out of it.
Papa, I've proved over the last few days, I ain't afraid of being called a racist, because the ones that are saying it are the ones that are racist themselves, and they're just 2-bit hacks.
It's usually a projection when you
Yep.
get, but now we can't. No one can be afraid of calling something out for what it is, and it doesn't. You cannot be scared of being classified as something when you're pointing out an observation. A lot of the I think a lot of the racist rhetoric we deal with now is manufactured. That's like state manufactured to keep people divided.
Well, demand far outweighs supply, so you've got to manufacture.
Well said. Very well said. I don't know. Is any final thoughts on this before we move on to FouseyTube?
It's FouseyTube.
Is it Fousey? I have no idea how to say that.
I thought it was Fousey.
You're
but
gonna have
never
to
mind.
explain that story to me, because I don't even know what Fousey is.
Well, I just found out
Is it
who
like
this person
Fauci?
was this week.
I didn't know it was Fousey until I watched. There's a 24-minute video that goes along with this article. That
Yeah,
I
it's
actually
quite the
referred myself to.
controversy, from what I've heard.
So, Tina, please.
I think I have heard about this. This guy's out of his fucking mind.
I
Most
watched.
creators are.
Well, you've got to be.
I mean, I consider myself quite rational insane, but okay.
Are you trying to say that Gary Nerdrotic is rubbing himself in peanut butter and wearing his grandmother's underwear when he's off cam? Is that what you're saying?
There's nothing insane about that. That's just, I'm not going to kink shame.
There are many endings that a fellow creator can have, folks, throughout their journey. I know I've analyzed enough of them, and going batshit crazy is one of them.
Yeah, I'd say that probably rolls out to about 40%.
My prediction.
Well, I'm glad I got that out of the way early, Ryan, so that I'll be normal by the time I hit 100,000.
I just got to say, I think by this time next week, Gary will be in jail.
Who will?
Oh yeah, the UK.
He's going to the UK, so he's going to get in trouble if he wrong thinks.
Oh no! Why would you go to the UK ever for any reason?
Well, you might go there
Slender Dad.
Yeah, you might go to visit Ryan.
Ryan, I love you, but I'm not going to come over there to tell you about that, okay?
I risk my life speaking my mind, Slender Dad. I could be locked away for the rest of my life for saying tranny demon. And I've said it so many times, and that's why I have these late shows, because
I got your back from across the pond. I'll stay here and I'll support you.
Yeah.
They usually kick down people's doors at 4 a.m. and I'll be streaming until 4 a.m.
Ryan, listen, there's a way to protect yourself. Just put on ladies' underwear, and if that ever happens, that you're protected, you can say, "Look, I'm actually one of them." Just like cloak yourself.
No, Stephen.
Become the chameleon.
I am not
like a Bud Light.
I am not.
Don't drink it.
I am not a pagan man, Stephen.
What does it have to do with a pagan?
But are you a pagan man?
I don't understand. So yeah, I didn't know who shared this in the chat. Was it you?
That
Tina?
was me. It was me. My sons found this for me, and they're like, "Okay, you're old, so you probably don't know who this is," which is always the greatest. It was the best way to be in a conversation. And they're like, "But I think they're gonna like this on the chat. You gotta share this." So like I said, by watching the video, I found out that this FouseyTube dude, who I thought it was kind of clever that his name is actually like Yosef. So it's like, so Fousey is just Yosef backwards, which I'm like, okay, that's a little clever, But anyway, so we find out, because he keeps repeating at everyone he's yelling at, the person who's stalking him, his security guard, his manager, the 911 operator he's on the phone with, the officers, as you can see him screaming in this little image down here, the officers that come to his hotel room that, hey, I'm worth $77 million. I'm wearing a $48,000 watch on my arm. Like,
okay, pause.
Yes, darling.
Ladonis, would this be what you would consider a narcissist?
Narcissistic, I think.
A narco demon.
You know what? I mean, like, he's like that's a grandiose personality.
You think it's more megalomaniacal?
Oops. Yes, thank you. That's the word I was looking for.
Okay. Maybe he's a clout chaser.
No,
we're all clout
listen.
chasers.
Listen. This dude, I don't know what he's on. I don't know if it's just his attitude or if he's on some kind of drug. But he's talking to the person that called him, that didn't even threaten him at first. Like this, wasn't it Fousey? How do you pronounce it?
Fousey.
Fousey. Right. So
Yeah,
Fufu is yelling at this guy who and then he starts like. There's a bunch of physical threats going back and forth. The security guard that he has with him is sitting on the couch and he's just like embarrassed. Like he doesn't even want to be on that live stream. He's only there for the money. He does not want to be involved in this. He is seeing this overly jacked, possibly intoxicated white dude just going off the rails. Blowing it.
Wait. There's
out
a
of proportion.
video, if I remember correctly. It's not possibly intoxicated. This guy is fucked up.
A little bit of background. He streams his life apparently like 24 hours a day.
Oh.
And when this incident that occurs, he has been awake apparently for 48 hours.
Fucking
and a little bit background. He has
48 hours.
He does
Okay,
have
he's
a
on
couple.
meth.
He has a couple of mental illnesses, and he does have an addiction issue. And he does scream at one point during the video that he hasn't been taking his mental health medication for a couple days. Why, I don't know. But the reason why he's in this particular hotel is they got kicked out of the what do you call it? What's that called?
Studio?
When you rent you rent a place, but somebody's house. Airbnb. Yeah, Airbnb.
Okay.
He just got kicked out of. So, and he's very upset that his manager let the person who has been supposedly stalking him to call him at the hotel. So it's very, very interesting. So this happened a little bit. Oh, go ahead.
He has a manager?
Yes,
They
he
should
has a
fucking
manager.
sack him.
I have a question.
He was sacking people, Ryan. He was left and right. You're fired. You're fired. He
You're
fired security.
Exactly.
I
He
got-
yells at
okay.
his manager for not doing his job. Then he blocks his manager from calling him on his cell
Yeah,
phone.
his phone.
And then later on is screaming, why isn't his manager calling him back?
Complete aside, I do want to give that to Ryan and the UK. Sacked sounds so much better than fired. I love the term.
Yeah.
Well, Deej wanted to say something, so.
Yeah, I have an important question. When he got handcuffed, did he yell, "I can't breathe"?
No,
He would have been in a much better place if he had, though.
He should have shouted.
different drug.
He should have shouted "Wakanda forever."
I don't think the quote is here in the article, but he did scream, "You're handcuffing a." Oh gosh, what nationality did he say he was? It was something like he's saying you're handcuffing a Palestinian Muslim or blah blah blah. Blah. And he just kind of went off like, so you're committing a hate crime.
He
and
should
also
have
the
done it
wrong-
with the other one, Tina. Then they would have just like let him go, give him all of their money and their houses and their wives and their husbands and all that shit.
And the police should have responded, no, we are not committing a hate crime. We are enforcing a hate law. There's a difference.
Mhm.
There you go. But there were 60,000 people watching this guy on Kick as he's
Ooh.
screaming. So he's had his phone is completely on speaker. So everybody's hearing this guy that was supposedly threatening him. He somehow the stalker somehow found Fousey's mom's address and phone number and called her
It
and
got
said horrible things
leaked.
to her. Yeah,
Mm.
exactly. And he's all upset because apparently his manager was supposed to tell the hotel, hey, if anybody calls for me, don't put the calls through, don't let them know what my room number is, basic security stuff. So, and apparently the stalker did call him in his hotel room, and the guy was saying all kinds of threatening things. And so the
Mhm.
weird part is right before Fousey hangs up the ball, he said, I'm going to take a knife and bury it 10 inches into your throat and then drag it down your body and cut off your penis or whatever and hanging it up. But then he's the one who's telling the police, oh my gosh, my
Okay,
life
props.
is in danger.
That's a good threat.
Is Fousey's manager called Karen?
No, his manager is Nadeem because he keeps screaming.
Oh, so it
Nadeem
was a
about
woman. That's
40,000
the first
times.
mistake. Never make a woman a manager of anything. Please continue, Tina, who's managing the
So-
stream.
Rogue Entertainment.
So then
Oh wow! Oh, I didn't even catch that. That's fucked up.
this is awesome. So then he's now scared for his life because the best part is the stalker tells him, well, here's my address in Miami. I know you're in Miami. Come to my house. And by the way, Fousey, I says, there's stand your ground laws in Florida. So you come on my property, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Basically, come at me, bro.
Yeah.
Exactly. Come at me, but I'm going to kill you, right? So he decides that since his manager isn't doing his job and the security guy, I don't know what the security guy was supposed to do, but he's not protecting him. So he calls 911 and he just starts screaming at the operator about how he needs help, blah, blah, blah. Somebody's stalking him. And she's like, okay, can you tell me where you are? And then he's yelling at the operator, she goes, I'd like to get the correct police department on their way. Please. He doesn't even know the name of the hotel he's in or anything. It's hysterical. So
And fired the security because he didn't know the address.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's screaming. So she's able to, by the name of the hotel was like the International whatever somewhere. So she's able, okay, let me connect you to the right department. So then of course he gets somebody else and he's explaining, but he's not saying like, hello, I had a stalker. I'd really like to, file a police report or talk to somebody about this issue because I'm in fear for my life. He knows the hotel I'm staying in, blah, blah, blah. He starts talking about, hi, my name is, Yosef, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I says, I'm worth $77 million. I'm wearing a $48,000 watch on my arm. And my entire life is online all day long. And I've got 60,000 followers. And she's like, can you explain what it is you'd like the police to do for you, sir? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's hysterical. So then he's like, my life is in danger. I need you to send somebody. She's like, okay, well, I need some information for you so that I can help you. And he's on his cell phone, and who knows what type of location information he's got turned on. And I don't know what the technology
And it's
is.
live. It's
Exactly, it's
live,
live.
so everyone
And I know
will know.
Exactly.
It's like the world's turned into fucking Big Brother, folks. It's just, FouseyTube is essentially someone in the Big Brother house going batshit crazy because the stalker's also in the house. It's fucking mental. We live in the Truman Show, all of us.
No, I don't.
Absolutely. It's completely insane. So then the 911 operator, okay, once again, start with where are you staying? Is the guy with you now? What information do you have about the stalker? Because we want to obviously go visit him and get, find out what the situation, what all the details on the situation. And he's so afraid, why aren't you doing something? And she's like, I'm trying to help you, sir. Can you please answer some questions? So then he finally just dreams, oh my God, he's in my room. He's got a gun to my head. I'm going to die. Click, and hangs up the phone.
Yeah.
And then so he starts talking to his other camera that's filming this live on Kick. See, this is what you have to do in order for the police to help a minority in Miami.
Insane.
And it's hysterical.
Oh, folks, this is entertainment in 2023. And
Yeah.
you know what? It's going to get a heck of a lot fucking worse. And platforms like Kick will allow it to run because it gets plenty of people watching, and they don't give a fuck. So, yeah, get ready for some for some fiery stuff coming up.
Absolutely. So this is his lovely security guard over here. I don't even think we get the poor man's name. And he's trying to like hurry up and get the address for the hotel room. And the stalker who threatened him, he said his address like 4 times on the live stream. So he's trying to remember what it was, it's so they have all the details. Poor guy's doing everything he can. Well, then they're filming out the window going, look, see, there's the cops are over there blocking that road and black road. And you can see like 6 or 8 squad cars in the parking lot of this hotel.
Jesus.
And then all of a sudden, there's the pounding on the door, the police are here. So you see the 3 poor officers come in the room. They're trying to clear the room because they think there's someone with a gun in there. So they're checking the closets and the bathroom.
The
and
security
under the bed.
guards.
Exactly. They asked the security guard to come out of the hotel room because they don't know. Maybe he's the one who had the gun to, Fousey's head. And he just starts yelling at them. Why aren't they doing anything? And they're like, sir, we're trying to figure out what's going on. So that he does the same thing about how many millions of dollars he's worth, and he just signed a contract, and there's 60,000 people watching you on live for everything's for my protection. Why aren't you doing anything? So this goes on for like 15 minutes, and then all of a sudden he yells at one cop to get out of the room because he didn't like the questions that was being asked, and he wanted a security guard to come in, but they won't let security come back in because I think they're trying to protect the security guard at this point. And then it pretty much ends with them handcuffing him and leading him out of the room. And while he's screaming, everybody call, let everybody know, or post hashtag, free Fousey and all this other crap. And then you just see the hotel door room close.
And the stream's still going on.
Yeah, the stream's going on. And eventually, like the video, I don't know how much long the stream went after they
then
left
his
the
phone
room,
died and the stream just ended.
Exactly. You can only assume that. It was very, very strange. And the follow-up article, this is the best part. This is how you know. But one of the reasons why I'm classist is because they post 2 days later. Well, because of his mental health issues and the concern for his safety, we want to make it clear that Mr. Yosef, whatever, was not arrested. He was taken into custody for a mental health evaluation. So he was charged for nothing.
Wow. You can get away with anything if you're that crazy enough.
Exactly. So all the money spent to send all of those officers in response, to have 8 officers in the building, 4 of them in there trying to calm him down, them taking him over to wherever, I only assume it was a local hospital for his evaluation. But yep, he is.
Could you imagine if they just knocked down the door and just went guns blazing? Oh, that's American police like 50 years ago.
No, if he was black, they would have. No, it's this is, do you think that his fame, I mean, what measure of fame he has and money had something to do with him not being charged?
I think so. And maybe because he said that, forgive me.
One of the things that I've noticed, I guess you could call this a positive. One of the positive things that I've noticed since all of the BLM riots and all the craziness that happened across the country is, like, cops don't pull people over like they used to. That's just my observation on the road. They really don't bother people like they used to.
It's the single most dangerous thing an officer can do is a routine traffic stop.
Well, yeah, I understand that.
Bad things happen during routine traffic stops than anything else.
Yeah.
And in Chicago, they can't, if they pull someone over, literally, or if they stop someone in the street, if they're on foot patrol and talk to them, I am not exaggerating. There is a 20-page form they have to fill out when they have any contact with the public.
Wow.
So most officers are not going to get involved with anything. Jeez. They won't talk to anybody, because of the whole, what is it, frisk and stop and frisk. They were doing that in Chicago for a long time. Like, hey, you look like you're carrying something, or it looks like you were just part of a drug dealer. So they're just stopping you. We're going to frisk you, and then we're going to let you go if nothing's wrong. Well, unfortunately, there's now laws against that. And
I mean,
it takes too much time to fill out.
Dude, I think we need to bring it back.
Before we go forward, one of the things I wanted to mention is, like, so he's making these terroristic threats about stabbing someone 10 inches in their throat and then cutting them down to their penis, right? That alone That alone warrants some kind of charge. But before we expand upon that, I just want to say that Papa Cotton, our most knowledgeable killer, he says you have to start at the butthole with a knife and gut them like a fish. And he also says successfully gutting a person always begins with a solid taint stab. Thank you very much, Papa Cotton. Don't want to know how you know that, but I appreciate you.
No, he explained it to me too, because one of the things I asked while I was away listening in the chat was how you get through the solar plexus. Because if you start with a neck stab, like we got this solar plexus, we got this rib cage. I have found that it is extremely difficult to cut through that.
Yeah, you've had experience, haven't you?
Unless you got a chainsaw, and then it's really easy.
No, because the problem with the chainsaw is flesh tends to jam it up. So chainsaws are actually extremely difficult to really, massacre a person with.
Tell that to that family in Texas.
This is why the establishment call Americans extremists, folks, because of fine folks like Slender Dad and Papa Cotton. My goodness, they have a reason to be afraid.
It's a legitimate conversation. Okay, this is why we still have our guns. All right.
This is called education.
Oh,
and Andy,
this is how you learn.
No, Andy, it wasn't me. I'm not the pagan man.
What?
Say it, Stephen. Say it.
How do we get to that? How do we
say
even get
pagan?
Because Andy said, go 2 more down. Go 2 more down.
Okay.
No, that was not me.
Have we gotten to a point with social media personalities where, like, is this the norm? It's definitely entertaining if you want to see someone freak out and have them, with a mental health breakdown. But is this what we're going to expect? Is this the
freedom,
new primetime
Stephen.
TV?
This is freedom. This is democracy. This is what people want, so they'll get it. This is the price you have to pay for freedom. Fucking lunatics like that, just going absolutely mental. And that's why the establishment will use this probably as an excuse to crack down on social media influencers or content creators. And they'll say that ultimately the end point of a creator will be another FouseyTube going absolutely batshit crazy, causing chaos with the authorities. They'll paint us all with a bad brush and use it as an excuse for censorship.
Well, and part of the problem here is, like, there's no community anymore. It used to be that community was the people who lived near and around you, the people you interacted with on a daily basis. The internet has expanded that ability to create community. And the problem is, this guy doesn't have a community. He has a bunch of rubberneckers who want to watch because they
can be entertained.
Crazy. But a community would rally around him and be like, dude,
you're spiraling.
You're in a tailspin. You need to fucking step away for a while.
Take a break.
They wouldn't encourage it, but I'm sure his community, and I'm using air quotes on that one, was like, fuck yeah, man, do it. Go crazier. I love watching this shit. And it's like, well, great. Now you're throwing gasoline on the fire, guys.
Yeah,
watching it
the
burn.
whole pad.
Watching it burn and warming by its fire, and that's how you stay
warm. And again, we shouldn't talk about YouTubers that spiral out of control with Steven on the panel.
Poor Steven.
Well,
thank you, Deej.
The truth is reality based. So.
And I don't know if it's a generational thing, but one of the weirdest parts about the conversation, if you can even say that was weird, is that he's explaining to the 911 operator about one of the things that the stalker did is he sent a woman into my life, made me love her, and then she broke my heart. And he's like, well, how long have you known this stalker? Well, this woman just came up to me in the bar yesterday, and I was in love. And now today she broke up with me, and it's broken my heart.
Fuck.
So then when the stalker calls the room back for the second time, obviously well before the police have come, and he's like, you bet your ass I sent that woman to you, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking, oh my God.
Are you sure this wasn't Steven?
Yeah,
well,
you're in a safe place. You're in a safe place. You're surrounded by people who love you.
Nah.
told us at a town hall, I think it was in July, that
I'm just warming myself by the fire.
Meth is bad. All right, Fousey,
Yeah.
Fousey, whatever your name is, it's bad. Don't do it. So, all right, guys, if you want to become famous, this is what you have to do. All right, if you guys want to be a famous live streamer, you have to
Be
do drugs to a metal
Palestinian.
breakdown.
I'll
What?
pass.
You're a racist. You don't count.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And then you have to call the cops after threatening people online, and you won't get arrested. You'll be fine.
Oh.
They'll just throw you in a mental health tank and then let you out the next day after you've slept off the meth. You know, it's going to take like 14 hours. But
And the
you'll get it
medical
out.
bill is free.
Yeah, but the dental
Oh, yeah.
is not if you're doing
Oh.
meth. That's gonna cost you some money.
Ooh, that's true.
Yeah, well, it takes
Yeah,
a while to break those teeth, Slender. You know, like there's that enamel holds on for dear life before it eventually crumbles.
And with
So-
77 million, he could probably buy a whole set of veneers
Mm.
anyway. So
You can get veneers, right?
You can get them gold teeth and look all gangsta, thugnificent and shit.
That
You
would
can
be
get
cultural
some-
appropriation.
Get some
That's
paint
true.
too.
Oh my! Is it?
That is true. Walton does have a katana in his bathroom.
Why are we still
That-
talking about
But
that?
but
I've
but
seen
that
it. I
that's just
saw it.
that's just to cut off the big ones that sometimes just won't squeeze out right.
You know, when you get old, your turd cutter. You know, no, I'm not
Hey.
going there. Actually, I'm not doing that with the whole pegging.
You're
joke.
you're one
Fucking man.
you're one sick bastard,
Damn
Steve.
thing's
You-
been
you
packed in there so hard it's coming out like a real Lincoln log.
Oh my god!
Aren't you glad we're your friends?
Mm.
I love you guys. You keep me honest.
With
Uh,
friends like these, who needs enemies, Stephen?
You guys are friendlier than my enemies. That's why you're my friends. When I was watching this video, I was going through it. I'm just looking at the chat and how they were just, you know, the emojis. And
Mm.
you were right. You know, like Slender was saying, they're just throwing gasoline on the fire.
Yeah, they want to have a good time. They want to enjoy this entertaining show because they're certainly not going to get it with the establishment. Although, folks, I'm due to be on another show pretty soon, so I'm going to have to bow out, have a pee break, have a drink, and then go on
All
to
right.
that other show. But yeah, it's a good segue, folks, because this guy, I have to give my thoughts on this fucker, courtesy of Zombie Main, who is Dempsey's spawn, as it were. So yeah, more info the better. Thank you, Stephen, for having me on. Keep it up, pagan man. Hopefully your magic spells will enable you to speak properly, and hopefully Immortal Coil can sprinkle some of his Western magic. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Good to see Slender Dad, Deej, and Tina again. Tina's a creator now, so I have to make her a rising star and have her on reality based because we need more women, real women,
Aw.
not tranny demons. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, and no other genders or binaries, I can be reserved. You can find me here, Ryan Roger Athe. Bye for now, folks.
See you later, Ryan. All right. Oh, that's single view. All right, guys, please check out Ryan Roger Athe. Great dude. Talks
Absolutely
to
wonderful
everybody.
guy.
Had his very first YouTube beef. Go ask him about it. I can't believe it happened because he will tongue punch any fart box across the tube. So I don't understand it, but go follow him. And no, Papa, no, no, sir. I know where you're going with that. And fuck you too, my friend. All right, I'll talk to you later.
Well, I do believe my husband said that after you cut it off and get it sewn back on, that you can like be in like pornos and stuff.
Like a Frankenwiener?
Oh, Franken penis. That's a thing.
Frankenpenis is a thing.
That
Yeah.
didn't work for Bobbit though. Come on now, let's be real.
Yeah, but I want to wait until you can get like attachments. I want like a cybernetic. If I want to get one, I want, this is something you get attachments for, something like motorized or I want special powers. If I'm ever going to do that, it's got to be you
A
know, like
lightsaber?
Splits into
or-
two, and then it is the shocker. Like,
yes, cut sushi with it. You know what I mean? Just to do different things. Take it off, throw it at somebody. Could you imagine like being
applies
embarrassed
its
by
own
being hit with a
lube.
penis
It
from
applies
across
its
the
own
room?
lube. Oh my god.
self-warming.
Yes, yes.
Mr. Belgian perked up at the applies its own lube comment, so apparently that's something he's interested in.
Hail, Mr. Bojan.
And then, like,
Oh my
you can
God.
get one that's solar powered, and they'll be like, "You, sir, this is indecent exposure." You're like, "No, I have to. It's solar powered." And they're like, "Oh, well, carry on then, sir."
I scared Mr. Bojan today.
Did you?
I did. Well, you know how I'm usually the kind-hearted life mate, and I point out the hot chicks that are above age for him to look at.
Uh-huh.
And I said, "Oh my God, I can't believe she's spreading her legs in public on stage like that. How horrible is it?" And he goes, Who? And I show him the picture of Lizzo lying on the stage with her legs spread open.
Oh,
And he's like,
that's-
"Oh my God, I will never trust you again."
yeah,
That's
that
cruelty.
was mean.
Yeah.
You know,
it was.
considering all the bonuses, the perks that he gets, like she should be allowed to torture him every now and again.
Yeah, but torture him with Lizzo? Come on now.
Yeah, there's a line. It's kind of a fault line when it involves Lizzo, but
You know, she could go Rosie O'Donnell with her cooch, but not Lizzo.
Oh, so what do we have here, Tina?
This I thought was kind of interesting. Screen Rant article on the fact that Hollywood has made us stupid in terms of science, and the fact that they came up with a list of science myths that we probably believe because of the movies that we've watched. So, and of course, Keanu Reeves isn't hard to look at. But apparently, the first science myth that we think is true is the fact that you can, or we think you can, suck out venom to help treat a snake bite.
nope.
So, what do you think? I would say, okay, so Slender didn't know that, or knew that. What about you, Deej? Did you?
I
ever
knew it
think-
was BS.
Here's
You
the
can't
thing.
suck it out?
It's not
No.
entirely BS. It actually depends on the bite you got. It depends on what kind of snake bit you, very specifically. Some you don't want to try and suck out the venom. That's actually a very bad thing to do. So
Uh-huh.
it's best to err on the side of caution. And unless you know exactly what kind of fucking snake bit the person, don't fuck with it.
And it depends upon where you got bit, because I'm sure if I got
Also
bit while
true.
I was pissing in a bush, nobody's going to want to suck that out of there. No.
Don't
That's
suck it.
true.
Okay. All right.
And they also said that if the sucker has any injuries in their mouth, then they could also be very easily poisoned.
Okay, so don't suck out poison. Don't get your poison sucked out by a person with herpes. Got it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And so the next one is how explosions look and sound in space.
Oh, I knew that's BS.
Yeah,
You know, like-
come on now.
Yeah, but let's see. Nah, just keep going. I'm sorry. That one.
That's all right. It says one of the most common things that sci-fi movies get wrong about space is the spectacular results of explosions in a vacuum. So as we know that there's no air molecules to vibrate or decompress human eardrums. So
Right.
it's not loud. We can't hear it. And fire also can't exist in space. So we'll get like a flashbang kind of scenario, but we're not actually going to see flames. So they blame Star Trek and Armageddon as examples. Of,
Well, I mean, so even like
explosions.
escaping air, I know it'd be quick. I know the vacuum would just like pull it right out of the hull, but there wouldn't be any flame. It would just be like a flash.
Yep. It just says that the only observable effects are quick flashes of light and
you get
some
like a
shockwaves.
spark. That's about it.
Mhm.
All right, well, that's not fun, and I'm glad the movies lie to me. Okay.
Exactly. I agree. Because the space battles would be far less interesting if,
Well, and here's the other thing. They're thinking of conventional explosions. Like, they're using proton torpedoes and plasma blasts and shit. Those are going to look a little different in space.
Mhm.
Oh,
This
excellent point.
this isn't like an accelerant and a combustible being detonated in an atmosphere. This is like plasma looks cool as shit in space. We know this. The sun has got a lot of plasma going on.
Yay.
Like photon torpedoes, Photon is basically a light, right? So like there's cool shit. Like,
hmm
I can
Well,
see.
yeah, you would expect that to be bright.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they're wrong because they're thinking of it in terms of conventional explosives.
Okay, I'll buy that.
Okay.
I
Thank you,
will buy
Slender.
that. This is one I actually knew just because
Yeah,
of,
this is
you know,
one
our
anyone who knows
in-house
anything
arsenal.
about guns knows.
Mhm. Yes, that silencers do not keep guns quiet. So, did you know
And-
that, Stephen?
And they're technically not silencers; they're suppressors.
Well, yeah, a suppressor, but no, I don't know that much about silencers. No, I don't. So I figured it would make some measure of noise, and it wouldn't be just you can't
Thank you.
you can't
Tina,
fire
for
a
highlighting
projectile.
Exactly what I said.
Yes.
You you can't fire a projectile out of something and it not make any sound whatsoever.
Exactly. So it says it
the
basically
annoying
just
part of it is the suppressor isn't. It's not an offensive attachment. It's for the person shooting. It's supposed to help protect their hearing.
Really?
Mhm.
Yeah, because like I mean, have you ever fired a gun? Well,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they're loud as fuck. And
Yeah.
they will damage your ears if you're not wearing ear pros. So a suppressor reduces that likelihood that they'll damage your ears in the event that you have to fire it quickly or
Does
you're
the
not or your ear pro's not properly on.
Mhm.
But doesn't it cut down the range or the speed of the projectile?
It will drastically reduce the velocity of the round as it exits the suppressor.
Okay.
But I mean, if you're using a suppressor, you're probably not taking a long shot.
Okay.
makes sense. But it does say
Right.
that it doesn't even decrease the sound by a third. So I thought that was interesting. It only decreases about 30
Really?
decibels compared to the 150 decibel noise. Yeah.
Hey, so it's still loud.
So yeah.
Yeah, you're still
Absolutely.
gonna have to be wearing ear pro. Like at the very least, you should probably have some foamies in.
So interesting. Does it make a difference? I mean, of course, I'm very science stupid. Does it make a difference if you're indoors or outdoors? I mean, I only went to the outdoor range once, but I had, ear protection on, so I don't think I noticed the difference in the sound.
It makes a big difference if you're indoors or outdoors. The smaller
Okay.
the space, the more it reverberates off the walls. So it'll sound a lot louder the smaller the space you're in.
That makes sense. That makes sense. So, the next one is that gunshots can greatly knock back a target. So they blame.
Depends on the round and the caliber. Like a 9mm round it's not even gonna slow you down. But like a
Exactly.
7.62, that'll probably throw you back.
Yeah, or like what I wonder, does it make a difference in the sense that like if you have a hollow point where it's not going to go straight through you, that's its job is
A
to
hollow
like
point,
cause damage?
yeah. More of that kinetic energy is probably going to disperse across the point of entry instead of punching through out the back. So yeah, that could theoretically probably also alter the amount of, I guess, knockback that it has on you.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
And I learned a new term. I didn't know that gun fu was a movie genre.
Gun Fu. I didn't know it was a movie genre either. It reminds me of what was that show? The
Have you ever seen Equilibrium?
Equilibrium. That's what I was trying to think of. Yeah,
With the gun katas? Like that's a whole thing.
Oh, really? That's funny.
Oh, Tina, if you haven't seen that movie, you should. It's really good.
You know what? It sounds familiar. I can't remember if I've seen it or not.
It's got
Sean
Christian
Bean in
Bale.
it.
It was kind of one of his breakout movies.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I'm
Was
not
it
to look
before
that one
Psycho?
up.
Or was it
I
around
don't
that
know that
time?
it was before or not. I just
Yeah.
know it was one of his breakout films.
I will have to look that one up. So we're back to space again. That they're saying that asteroids and space are always densely packed is the rumor.
Yeah, that one's stupid as hell. The asteroid fields, you always see
Yeah,
them like weaving through. They're like in a real asteroid field. They're like dozens of miles apart from one another. So it's
Yeah.
and they're not like that.
Exactly. So I thought that one was kind of funny. But all right, so we're still in space. That apparently laser beams are not always visible in space.
What?
Yeah.
That's
Much
bullshit.
like
I've seen Star
explosions.
Wars.
It says, and that's who they blame, actually, Star Wars and Star Trek, down at the bottom. But it says, much like explosions in space, lasers are generally invisible and quiet
Okay,
when at least in a vacuum.
I'm gonna disagree with that one for a specific reason, right?
Please
Like
do.
I've had laser pointers, and obviously you just see the little dot for those, right?
Mhm.
But I bought a laser pointer on Amazon once upon a time that was a green laser, and it had like the big old battery in it and everything. And I was like, oh, this is a sweet little laser. And I still got it just to, have the cats chase it around because I thought it'd be funny, but I wanted a green one. That thing is so damn powerful that when it is fully charged, you can see the beam.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the way from the pointer to wherever it goes, you can see that beam. So if you're talking Death Star level power on a laser, yeah, I think you're going to see it. I think you're going to see the beam.
Yeah, a planet destroyer. You would think.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't like this one. I don't like this one, Tina. Go on to the next one.
All right. Sorry. All right. This is one that I did not know. And I meant to ask my son when he came home from work today, but I didn't have time. Because he's, the whole CPR certified, having to save kids at the pool and working with the police and stuff. But I did not know that a defibrillator can't restart a stopped heart.
Get out.
Yeah.
That's
Wait,
what I had always thought. That's what Left 4 Dead taught me.
Yeah. But that you're only supposed to use it when a person is having a irregular heartbeat.
Okay, so right, it's supposed to regulate the beat. That's. I don't know. I heard Slender. Go ahead, Slender.
Okay, here's the thing. Navy for 14 years. I've done first aid training. They usually do train you on how to use an AED, the defibrillator, and that's part of, like, if you've cleared the airway and their heart's like they're not breathing, right? They don't tell you to check if their heart is even beating or not. Like, if they're not breathing, you do CPR. If there's an AED available, you hook that up to them, and the AED does the rest. You just push the button, and it'll go. Right. So I don't know if that's correct. In all honesty, what I've always been told is it's a lot harder for an arrhythmic or irregular heartbeat to be stabilized back to a normal heartbeat. It's actually better if their heart did stop, because it's easier to restart a heart than it is to, fix an irregular heartbeat.
Right.
So I don't know if this is correct, or I mean, it's been, let's see here, about 8 years since I've done one of those trainings. So maybe the rules have changed.
Yeah, I'll ask my boys, but because Jacob obviously got recertified this summer for the pool, so I'll have to ask them what they use it for, because I know they've had them, and I mean they've done them with training, and obviously they're always putting it on the CPR dummy and not on a live person, but yeah.
But yeah, what they always told me was it was actually better if the heart stopped, because it's easier to restart a heart than it is to fix an irregular heartbeat. So, like, I always thought, I mean, I was an electronics technician for the longest time. I'm like, if I'm taking a voltage, I'm taking a big voltage, because I want one that just fucking stops my heart.
Wow. That's
Tina,
a big one. Yes,
I
dear.
just gotta say I hate you now.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Since you mentioned that Lizzo thing, I just looked over on Twitter and scrolled down a little bit, and that fucking picture popped up.
I'm sorry.
Damn it. Oh man,
I'm sorry.
She summoned Lizzo?
So I thought it was good. I mean, I could have shared it on our, on our Twitter DM, but I didn't. I only terrorized my husband. So
I could share it for Walton.
No, you don't need to do that. No.
Are you sure? All right, because us fat girls need some love too. So
yeah,
But anyway, well, our next one is that, and this I did not know. I didn't know that chloroform didn't instantly knock people out.
Yeah, it takes a minute. I mean, no, I didn't know that either. I know.
Yeah, but apparently it says that they blame soap operas for this.
Thanks,
but but I did not realize that it takes several minutes. So I figured, okay, they probably have to like breathe a couple times, you know?
It's like 3 to 6 minutes.
Yeah. So it's kind of scary that you guys all know the answer to that question, but we'll keep scrolling down. Here we go. This
It's
one
a
I think
man
everybody
thing.
knows. Oh, okay. But I think everybody knows that, you know, that humans do actually use a large percentage of their brain. So this kind of stuff isn't real.
Yeah, I've always thought that one was a little weird. I'm like, yeah, but I thought like we used all the different parts of our brain for all the different things.
Right.
Like they may not all be activated at the same time, but like the frontal lobe has different purpose than, you know, the occipital lobe, the lower portion, the brain stem, the left brain versus the right brain. Like there's all sorts of different functions, and they're scattered across all sorts of different parts of the brain.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I was
but
wondering if maybe the 10% rumor came out because maybe like 10% of your brain might be used just for keeping you alive. What do they call it? The stuff that you do unconsciously.
Yeah,
Like
those are like the
breathing and beating your
passive.
heart. Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
those are
Passive.
that's the background processes, and then the other
Yeah.
90% is when you're actually, you know, start spinning up applications and want to do real processes.
Exactly.
You know, actually, you know, I'd like to rebuke that idea just for a second about the 10% because we did just read that Fousey article, and I don't think he uses 10% of his brain.
Oh, Fousey? That he
Yeah,
No,
Fousey.
I don't know.
90% of his brain is tied up processing crystal meth. The other 10% still gets used.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good
Right.
one. That's good. All right. Our last one, though, this I thought was amusing, is I've never considered this because I only thought that The Matrix was the only movie that brought this up.
This
But
was the stupidest thing about the Matrix. You know what would have worked better than humans? Fucking potatoes. Humans make terrible batteries. Potatoes are actually pretty good batteries.
What are you talking about, Slender?
I'm not joking.
never done
the
the
idea
phys-
that humans would make good batteries. Humans are terrible batteries.
So I got a question. Wouldn't an Irish person make a good battery since they love potatoes?
Not
There you go.
if they never had a chance to eat potatoes in the first fucking place. You can fit a lot more potatoes on those giant battery towers. They could have had like 800,000 potatoes on 1,000-person tower and made so much more electricity. The human thing was stupid. Here's the thing. I actually know a little bit of lore about this. The original story that they came up with was that they were using the human brains to create a neural network and have processing power that they could steal from humans, right?
Huh.
The human brain actually has like multiple petabytes of storage in it and has incredibly good processing power. So that made sense. And Hollywood said, nah, that makes no sense. Do something that's more believable for the people. So they went with batteries, which is actually dumb as fuck.
wow. But yeah, Papa Cotton brings up a really good question. Stephen, you've never seen or done that experiment in school with the potato clock?
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
Okay.
potatoes make amazing batteries.
Yep. Because it says in here that the energy output of the resting adult body is equal to the power of a 100-watt electrical bulb.
Oh, that's
So,
not much.
yeah. Nope, not at all. We are apparently a minuscule and highly inefficient power source.
What do you think that potatoes would have done if we had hooked them up into the Matrix? What do you think a potato matrix would have looked like?
Well, the beautiful thing about a potato is it doesn't have a brain, so you don't need a matrix to keep it in line.
And the avatar for the Matrix, if you hooked up potatoes, would have been Mr. Potato Head.
Mhm.
He could have been the one. Could you imagine Mr. Potato Head doing kung fu against the agents? That'd be awesome.
Yes. Taking off his own arm and beating him with it.
No, taking off his own mustache and throwing it like a ninja star.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hey, what's up, Memes? Good to see you, bud. Guys, please check out Memes of Destruction. Great channel. Check out Fizzgitty and support her comic. Support your independent comic creators out there.
But that is the end of our 10 myths you probably believe because of the movies.
Beautiful. Thank you. That was fun. That was a fun first show after a few months.
Well,
Thank you,
there's
guys.
one other myth I'd like to bust.
And what's
Pull a
that?
pin. If you pull a pin on a grenade, you cannot put the damn pin back in. That
Ooh.
does not work, people.
No, once it's pulled, it's pulled. You just
You got to
gotta
throw that
hold
damn
the,
thing.
What's the lever called? You got to hold the lever.
All right.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
long-
once the pin is pulled, that grenade's going to explode once you let go of it. So
You hear a click when you pull that pin. That is the first lever moving into position.
Yep.
It is now primed. You either throw the thing or you blow up with it if you happen to release the second pin.
Yeah.
Handle.
you
So I
are
always
now
wondered-
cooking that grenade.
So I always wondered, okay, if you saw the original Red Dawn, one of the girl high school students, she was bleeding or dying or for whatever reason, so they gave her the grenade, and I'm wondering if she was like laying on the switch or whatever.
Yes,
Because
she had to have
Okay.
been laying on the handle
gotcha.
on it to keep it depressed until he rolled off. But it wouldn't have blown that quickly either. There would have been a few seconds before it went off. It wouldn't have instantly went boom.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that was actually a booby trap that was used in certain circumstances where you would pull the pin on the grenade and put it under a corpse and then leave, so that when people came to collect their bodies, when they rolled the body off or picked the body up, well, that grenade just got activated and it's going to go off here in about 3 seconds.
Oh wow, that's scary.
It's probably a war crime, but it did happen.
All right. Well, 15 minutes. We've got Sporking News Podcast, The Dump, coming up, where you will see some of the coolest cats in all of YouTube. Great channel, great personality, and maybe I'll stop by. Tina Slender, never know who's going to be there, and so please go support him, share out his channel, and support your other independent creators out there too. Please also later on, Eats Up with Coin, the place to be reviews. It's going to be having his Saturday night show stream. Great people, again, wonderful entertainment, and please go support them. Subscribe to him and his new channel. He's got a new horror channel. And speaking of horror, Dread Gaze has also created a second channel. If you guys can go find that one and share that link, I'd appreciate it. So please support a fellow writer in the community. Red Gaze, been my friend forever. Hail Trans Fat, and thank you for being here. We're going to go around the horn, and thank you, Soul Assassin. Thank you very much. And we'll start with Tina Bojan. Tell them where they can find you, sweetie.
Well, when I'm not hanging out with all of these wonderful people on the weekends, like Vinny Art and Steven and Scott, you can find me during the week, also on Scott's channel on Monday and Wednesdays when we do have a stream. And then you can find me in the chats, mostly at a Sunday Art podcast on Friday nights. But you'll hear more about that in just a minute.
Awesome. And next up, Slender Dad.
Well, as Tina mentioned, I am one half of the Ascendant Art podcast. We are at 9 p.m. Eastern on Friday nights. We talk about anything and everything, usually culture, movies, video games, or Neil Breen. If Matt is on, you can also find us oftentimes doing What the Flick or Movies with Mad, whichever he's calling it at this point. Lots of things like that, but there's no real timetable for those. They just come out whenever he gets them edited.
All right. Thank you so very much. Oh, yeah, Skinamax is on later, too. Also, another great show. And next up is DJ Odyssey, the racist with two buttholes.
Hey, one of them sealed back up. Leave me alone on that.
All right, so where they can find you, Deej.
You can find me over on my channel, but lately I've been doing nothing but gaming 7 Days to Die. So if you like games, you like to watch zombies get blown up, and you like me to call out YouTubers' names as zombies that I am offing, well, there you go. You got me. You come on.
All right, brother. Thank you so much. Guys, greatly appreciate you. Remember to support your independent creators out there. Yep. Also, check out Vets Talking. Great channel. Good people. Go mess with Shellback. He needs it. He needs to deflate his ego a little bit. Please also make sure to check out Eats Up a Coin, a place to be reviews, all the cool people over there. Check out all of the wonderful channels that have been mentioned here tonight. Vinny Art and the Seminar Podcast and DJ Odyssey. Appreciate you guys. Make sure to support your independent creators out there. It's the second time I send it, but it's been a while, so I haven't got my script. I haven't got my script back on track. And if you have a voice and you want it heard, start a channel. All right. If you're tired of the way entertainment's being treated, if you're tired of the what's going on in politics, if you are sick of hearing other people speak on your behalf and they are not talking the jive that you once said about you, your experiences, your truths, then please start your own channel. Doesn't matter what platform it is. Make your voice heard, because there's plenty of platforms out there to do it. And the only way you can affect the change or create any type of change is to speak up for yourself. So, I am author Stephen Walton, the Phantom Menace historian, your historian, born in the chats of the High Council with my brothers and sisters fighting for our modern mythologies. Wash your hands, wash your ass, be good to each other, yet suffer no fools. Peace.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
You forgot